Well, it is now time for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag climatologist and Market Journal's chief meteorologist, Al Dutcher. Al, how are things looking as we turn to the week ahead?
Well, Bryce, over this last week, we've seen those warm temperatures during the Memorial Day weekend, and of course, this thunderstorm activity primarily concentrated more in western Nebraska than eastern Nebraska, as most of that energy lifted out of that trough up into the northern plains. 1 to 2.5 inches of moisture was reported across the Panhandle. Heaviest of that was north of the river, north of the Platte River system. As you got into the southwestern portion of the Panhandle, precipitation totals dropped off, but a decent event for that region. Also seen some scattered pockets of anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch in the western half of southwest Nebraska, scattered throughout the northern Panhandle or northern Sandhills, and also in portions of northeast Nebraska. Much of central, south central, and east central Nebraska was fairly much left high and dry with these systems. Now we're going to see a very active pattern over this next week. Multiple chances for precipitation, not every single day, but the cumulative totals should leave most of the state anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to around 2¼ inches of moisture for this period, with the heaviest basically hitting southwestern Nebraska. Now, as we look at the upper air pattern, we currently have an upper air low sitting over southern Canada that keeps us in basically a northwest to almost zonal flow, and that means systems are going to rapidly move across our region. We have a low pressure over northeastern portions of New Mexico that's going to help moisture lift north and then basically up toward the northwest to create upflow flow. So we're going to see scattered thunderstorm activity across the west, and then it'll move east as we go into tomorrow. We see that low move toward the western Great Lakes. A little wave moves across the northern plains underneath of it. That should help to generate some moisture as we have low pressure basically still in northeastern Colorado, bringing that moisture up. Biggest concentration of moisture in the southwest and portions of north central Nebraska. And then on Monday, we get a zonal flow. Waves will move rather quickly in this type of a scenario. Not a lot of precipitation expected during the Monday period, as low pressure will now move at the surface into central portions of Texas, and that'll keep the big fish feed of moisture up toward the central Corn Belt. And then on Tuesday, we see another ripple starting to develop, and also an intensification of the trough to the north of us. That will help to create a convergence zone basically from the central plains to the southern plains. So we should start to see thunderstorm activity across Kansas and some of it in western Nebraska, and more concentrated as we get in Wednesday as this trough itself deepens into our region and brings very cool air into our area. That convergence zone should develop widespread precipitation across much of Nebraska and Iowa. And as that system pushes to the east, we will start to see a cooler trend for a couple of days and much drier conditions. On Thursday, we start to see the northwest flow aloft and high pressure at the surface building in. That pushes the rainfall back toward our south. And as we start to see this rainfall to our south, that trough will start to deepen and progress, pushing a little bit farther toward the west. That's going to help systems move down the front side of this ridge, and that means that as the high pressure builds in even deeper, it's going to push moisture up against the mountains. That creates an upslope flow condition, and we may see some good thunderstorm activity from the Panhandle through southwestern Nebraska. Look farther into the future, 8 to 14 day forecast from next Thursday to the following Tuesday. That cool air remains in place, and in terms of precipitation, near normal to probably slightly above normal precipitation is going to occur.